Talk a little about James O'Shea, just his development to this point in the season, and then his big performance on Saturday night.
Yeah, we, like I said before in a press conference, we knew what we had in James last year. He was just unfortunately he had the red shirt. Getting him out this year, that's what James all the time about. He's a self-proclaimed Channel 3 on his Instagrams and all of his social media sites. He's like tuned into Channel 3. And I've been telling him, all year, hey, we need to see Channel 3 tonight. We need to see Channel 3 tonight. And I think James finally arrived, and I wouldn't say arrived, but finally showed up in terms of being Channel 3, being a guy that you want to look out for, a guy that is a playmaker for us, and was very happy with the way he played. Wasn't perfect. There's still a lot of things he needs to clean up from a technique standpoint, but was very proud of him making a play when we really needed it. That was just incredible stuff he's done throughout the year. Periodically has shown flashes of making just unbelievable plays, and was really proud of him for making those big time plays and big time moments.
He leads your offense in receptions now, and he's run the ball a few times. He returns punts, he returns kickoffs. Do you worry about overloading him, or are there more things you can still start asking him to do in the future?
Yeah, well, not overload him in the game. What we have to do is be very cautious of how we practice him. And we can't wear him out in practice, using him on punt returns, kick returns. He can't, do a bunch of that stuff and still be able to run down the field 20 times a game or 20 times a practice, and then us expect him to be fresh during the game. So we have to do a really good job in practice of limiting that. Limiting him in practice so that he's fresh for the games. But no, not in the game. We do have a playmaker chart on our call sheet. Coach Depp puts together just all throughout the week, whatever we've looked really good at, just to get him the ball. So in a certain situation, if we feel like he needs to get it, I can always look at that part of the sheet and go to that play to get him a touch.
What are some of the technique things you're talking about with him that he needs to improve? What specifically does he need to do? Footwork and stuff like that. From
an underclassman standpoint, all guys have to pay more attention to detail. And James has been one of those guys. And what I mean by that is his depth on routes, not peaking at the top of his route, coming in and out of his break, and sharpening the end of his route where he's not drifting or he's not, allowing the quarterback to get undercut. Just little small, detailed things that, fans watch, they don't really pay attention to, but us as coaches with no life, watching film over and over and over, we see it over and over and over. But that's going to make him ultimately it make him a better receiver down the road.
And what kind of performance like he had this last week? How can that help his confidence or whatever?
Oh, he's on cloud 9 right now. He's really excited. But again, that's my message to our guys is that's what we're supposed to do. You can be in a good mood because you had a good game, but let's be in a good mood all the time because we're in a good mood. We're winning games and we're doing the things we're asking you to do. And that's what I think they did a good job of this past weekend is just making plays when we needed them to be made, and we knew we were going to get a lot of man coverage, and we did get some, but I thought Tulane did a really good job of mixing up their coverages, and with our guys, we went into the game saying you guys are going to have to make some plays.
You guys have talked about Braden West, where you wanted to at times hold back the work a little bit, so not to overload him, but he's come out with a lot of big games for you, especially as you had some injuries or moving around in the backfield. Just how much has that meant to you, and what do you see out of him?
It's big time for me. Braden, you saw, a lot of our guys care, and they all care, but you saw Braden really hurting after some games last year. Comes from a really nice program down in the Houston area, and you saw him really hurt last year. Talked to his mom after some games, and his mom was just saying Braden's really down, that kind of thing. And to see him have the success he's had this year is what it's all about, really. Because that guy kind of struggled a little bit as a true freshman. He was really he was smaller. Wasn't really ready to play Division I football at the time, but we had to play him. And this year, he's an old head for us. He's a guy that's played a lot of ball for us, and He understands the protections. He understands where the ball needs to run, and he does a really good job of that. But it's what it's all about, to see a guy like that kind of struggle through a true freshman year, and then to come back like he has the past 3 games and had a lot of success. It's why you coach. It's why you see those guys, and you encourage them every day to keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be okay. There's a lot of true freshmen on our team right now that are getting redshirted. That they went into the tank because I was getting redshirted, but it's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. I got redshirted. That's what I tell them all the time. I got redshirted. It was the best thing for me. And if you were ready to play, we would play you. That's not a point that we have a lot of depth on our team. So if they're ready, we would play them. But if they're not ready, we're taking care of you, and we're going to redshirt you. But that's really what we'd have liked to have done with Braden last year. Put a little bit of weight on him, but we weren't able to. We had to play him, and I think that's paid dividends this year when he's getting in the game and he's playing a lot and he's getting a lot of snaps and he's doing this as well as he is.
Braden's gone over 100 yards in each of the last 3 games, but Ben Hicks got sacked 4 times the other night after not getting sacked in either of the previous 2. When you look back at the film from Tulane, how would you grade your offensive line?
Well, they did okay. I didn't think they did as good as they did against Houston. They did do some really good things, but they did miss a few things. And then also Ben missed a few things. Ben got sacked on the second play of the second series, and that was all on Ben. It's all him. It's all his fault on that. And so you can look at sacks all you want and try to grade the offensive line and all that, but we try to look at everybody. Kamen gave up a sack. Ben gave up 1 or 2, really kind of a half. But our offensive line, the thing I would say about them that I was very proud about was a lot of them played with some bumps and bruises. And when I mean bumps and bruises, they're playing through some injuries. And so they gutted it out. We needed them to gut it out, and they did. So you can't really blame those guys a whole lot. But they did just okay. They did good enough to win. But we got to do better. We got to do better as a whole staff. Felt like last week our offensive staff we just did okay. I felt like our team just played okay, and that starts with me. It starts with our staff, getting everybody ready to go. I felt like we came out playing hard. We jumped out to an 11-point lead, and then kind of just for whatever reason we thought that was good enough, and we got to continue to stress those guys. Hey, it's no matter if you're down 21, up 21, up 10 in the fourth, down 10 in the fourth, you play one play at a time until the clock hits 00. And we got to do a better job as an offense of doing that, continuing to play one play at a time for 60 minutes. When
you talk about the bumps and bruises, is that why Braylon Hyder got time in the second half? Or was that scripted all along that you were going to get him in for Jerry? Yeah, that was scripted. Jerry's battled a lot of injuries this year. He's been banged up, but we did want to try to give Braylon some reps in there just to see, just kind of give us some a little change up. Maybe it was a little hot down there in New Orleans, where it has been a little bit cooler for the past couple games. So we felt like we needed to try to keep some guys fresh, and I thought Braylon came in and did a really nice job. It would be interesting to see this week how we practice and see who gets that start or not, because they both played pretty good. Coach Morris talked about the coaching change at Memphis, and their head coach is an offensive guy, but when you look at Memphis's defense, do you see significant differences from the version you saw last year? Yeah, they do some of the same things, but no, it's another new coach, but they do some things that are the same. They have a really nice blitz package, third down package that they like to bring in. They bring in a lot of different guys at some different spots, but it's going to be a challenge for us. They're really good on defense. Number 6 is probably the best player we've seen all year. Really like him. He's a really good player. And they have some really good guys in the secondary as well as up front too, that can cause havoc in the interior. But we got to do a good job. We got to be prepared. We got to do our job.
on offense of being prepared like we were against Houston, and knowing you know, our protections and knowing our schemes and what we need to do in certain situations. So we'll be ready for that. Looking forward to game planning today and getting back in there tonight with the guys and moving forward. That's it. Thank you.
Practice against false starts.
Practice against false
Yes.
starts.
Well, offensive line.
We just, you know,
It seems like a difficult balance. You know, you want the guys to. I'm talking about like for any team,
yeah.
the importance of not jumping off all that.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, our offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't jump off sides. I know Cortland jumped off sides the other night, but it's just a matter of knowing the cadence, knowing you know, if you're going on one, going on two, being disciplined. You know, that's the thing you got to work on throughout the week. You got to work on your different cadences. You got to work on your different snap counts, and the guys got to know what the snap count is and go on the right count and be disciplined to do that.
Cortland had 2 catches the other night. Obviously, a lot of the balls went James's way. Is Cortland showing any frustration with the coverage, the attention that he's drawing from everybody? And if so, how do you and Coach Stepp help him manage that?
Yeah, he's not frustrated. He's happy as long as we're winning. He's happy with whatever happens. And I think that tells a lot about his character and about the guy that he is. He doesn't care if he catches 1 ball or 50 as long as we win. He does in the game of the night. He was saying, "Coach, I'm ready. You know, I'm ready. Give me the ball. Give me the ball." He was trying everything we could to get him the ball, and you know. It makes it tough when he's getting certain coverages. On James's touchdown, you see the safety drive on an underneath route by Cortland. If the safety doesn't do that, James doesn't catch a touchdown pass. And so teams definitely know where he is, and we got to do a good job of scheming to that and getting Cortland his touches, but also using that to our advantage and get other guys the ball when they need to. So he's going to draw coverage. It is what it is. But again, the team can't do that the whole game. If they do, other guys like James, Shelby, KT, Xavier, other guys like that are open when they do that, and we got to do a good job as a quarterback to find those guys when he's drawing that coverage. And but again, they can't do that the whole game, so we have to be really good that when they do give us that opportunity, we take advantage of it.
How's Myron Galliard doing on his transition from receiver to running back?
He's doing unbelievable. I mean, that kid is doing really, really good at picking it up. Again, very unselfish. Could be complaining about the transition and moving to running back to help us, but hasn't griped, hasn't complained one bit, has gone to work every day. He's picking it up quickly. The biggest thing with him is just the protections and knowing where to go, who to protect on our certain protections, and he's done a good job of that so far. Going to try to get him in there involved a little bit more. Again, Braden's missing a lot of practice time due to his injury, so Myron's got to continue to come on and continue to work and continue to learn as fast as he possibly can to give us a chance when he goes in there.